Hello.
Oh yeah?
Welcome to another RiderCamTV video.
Yeah. Nobody mentioned that thing on his nose.
What thing? It's a plaster. Thanks for that. Make
That's
me feel
all right, mate.
self-conscious.
Don't be conscious about it, big nose.
Right. You will see on the front here that we have got a plethora.
Really?
An abundance, you
Overabundance.
usually say? Overabundance of navigational devices for motorbikes.
And the end.
Yeah. So let's take that one out of the equation because, for a minute, because all of these are Apple CarPlay units. So we've got the CarplayMotorcycle CarPlay unit, which has got that funky adapter that we've done a video on. Then we've got the CarplayMotorcycle or Motorcycle CarPlay unit that we've did a video on. Then we've got the Carpuride, and I think that we've got the boxes here because there's so many of them. This is the 702 BS, which is bigger than the 502 BS. But they've all got BMW mounts on them. Most of them got BMW mounts on them. And then we've got the C9 and C6 Pro from Aoocci. And what we thought we'd do is go through them a little bit.
Somebody put a comment saying, wouldn't it be nice to see them all sizes and all that kind of stuff?
Yeah, now if we put these on the bike, Mark has got 2 screens on his bike already. If we put them on the bike, you wouldn't see anything. He'd know where he was going, but nobody else would be able to see it. And we've also got the Chigee Aoocci LTE version with the BMW bracket on the back. So
I have a Chigee fitted on mine, but it's wired in, and
that's the AI.
I walked past my bike the other day with a spanner, and all the panels just fell off. They're like, no, because all these have been fitted to the bikes at some point.
Yeah,
which is a bit of a mare for us.
So what we thought we'd do is have a bit of a talk about them. So the Chigee, we're going to come back to that one because that's the most expensive unit on the table. That's like £500–600, and then you add all the extra additions that you want to do. It's got the ability of adding extra cameras, blind spot detection, all that sort of stuff. But it's also removable from the bike and put onable, if that's a word, onto another bike if you've got the camera system from them on that bike. These two here, the C6 and the C9, one of them's a Pro, but from Aoocci.
The C6 is the bigger one.
I think it is.
Yeah.
They are all CarPlay units, and they've all got the ability of adding extra cameras on there, so front and back cameras. And then these four, the 2 Carpurides and the 2 CarPlay motorcycles, or the CarPlay motorcycle, motorcycle CarPlay, it gets very confusing. They are all just Apple CarPlay Android Auto units, so you can't have any extra cameras or anything fitted. So going from cheaper to more expensive, I suppose we've got the Carpurides. They are, we'll put the screens up, the prices up on the screen without having to look through the websites.
Because that would look like we didn't prepare, wouldn't it?
Oh, we never prepare. Now, these I would say would be the cheapest. So you're talking about 200, 250 quid for these sort of things. And they fit right on your BMW. They do other mounts, and they work really, really well. They're made of plastic, but they feel good, don't they?
Yeah, we had somebody use one. Was it the bigger one of the two? We had somebody on a tour recently with us who it kept freezing. Yeah. But I'm not sure if that was to do, he had an Android phone, whether it's something to do with his phone or not, but there was an issue with it. Anyway, he managed to get around the tour, so that was fine.
Yeah.
Really nice though.
So that's the 7-inch.
Huge screen.
That's the 5-inch. So they do different sizes. And obviously, if you've got an RT like Barney, it needs to fit into the dashboard. So this will fit into the dashboard. This is far too big for it. So you need to make sure that you know where you're going to fit it. But all these fit into the normal BMW sat prep that's already on your bike.
Yeah.
Without having to modify anything else. If you want to start modifying things,
can be fitted to other bikes by use of a different mount.
Yeah, and it would be a different. Well, it would be a different option on the Carpuride rather than that one. Then you've got things like the CarPlay motorcycle version that we did. That's got the ability of having cameras and stuff on, and a quick release mount as well. This is made of metal by the feel.
We liked that, didn't we?
Really, really nice with a vibration mount on the back, whereas the others haven't got a vibration mount on the back. But
you have that back.
All of these things do exactly the same thing. So it depends on what you want them to do. So if we were to put these three and those, or those four and those three together, they are what I would say dumb units.
Yep.
They just run CarPlay or Android Auto, which is dictated by what you've got on your phone as to what works. But they work exceptionally well. There's no battery inside any of them. They don't remember anything. So for me, if you had one of these and you were navigating and someone stole it, they don't know where your home is, where your work is, where you've been.
And somebody made a comment about that, going, "Oh, I wish it had a battery." And you go, "Well, you don't need a battery. It's plugged into your bike, and all it is doing is mirroring your phone."
Yeah, and that's all.
That's all it's supposed to do.
They all work in the same sort of way. They've all got their own little nuances in how they work, and they've all got slight differences in design, and they're all made in China, but everything's made in China these days. And then you move to this bracket. So that bracket's sort of like sub 250, isn't it? £250 in England.
Thereabouts.
And it means that if you've got an iPhone or an Android, once you've plugged it onto your bike and you've connected your phone to it, it will just work. Now, then you move to this half. This starts to get a little bit more expensive. So you're sort of thinking about over £250 now. So you've got the CarplayMotorcycle. You can add cameras and things on there, which also means that if you're going to go into this, you get 2 or 3 things in one. You get the CarPlay screen, because these do exactly the same as those. They're dumb units with CarPlay on them, but they don't have batteries in them. But these have the ability to save the footage onto an SD card that's coming from the cameras that you may attach. They're made slightly differently. They're a bit more rugged. They feel more rugged. And there's also the added complication of having to fit all the bits onto your bike. So you've got to run all the cables through for the rear camera, the front camera, the GPS unit, all of that sort of stuff. So it's down to you as to what you want. These are all over like £250, and they range up to like £600 for like this Chigee unit. The Chigee, I think, have placed themselves right at the top of this sort of market, because not only do they offer all the CarPlay, Android Auto, and all of that sort of stuff, phone mirroring, there's no battery in there again. So for things like being stolen, they're not going to know where you've been, where you are, you know, where your habits are if you're worried about that. But they've taken this AIO6 LTE version and AIO6 normal version to the next level. So you can attach a BMW mount, you can have their own mount, which is like the Garmin mount. You can choose to just buy that, run it off the app. You can choose to buy the cameras with it, the blind spot detection with it as well. You can choose to have, if you've got more than one bike, you can choose to have a set on one bike, set on the other one, and just have one head unit. So it makes it cheaper if you've got 2 or 3 bikes. Whereas before you'd have to buy one of those, plumb it in, all the cameras, then for your second bike, buy another one of those, plumb it in, all of your cameras. Whereas now you can just take that unit off, put it on the other bike.
I've noticed that some people on various posts we've seen, they've had issues with them, and you see it on Facebook. Sometimes I think it's finger trouble.
I think so.
Because the system works really, really well. I mean, mine's wired to my bike. I don't have any problems with it at all. And it just does what it says on the tin.
Yeah.
I think if you're asking too much of it, it's not a sat-nav.
No.
It's mirroring your phone. And I think people have struggled with that. You know, it uses all my data. Well, it's actually your phone that's using your data.
Yeah.
You know? So anyway.
Yeah, and we've used them.
That is the most expensive though, isn't it? By the time you've added all the add-ons.
Yeah. But when you look at them, these feel well made but cheaper than this lot. These feel well made but cheaper than the Chigee. Chigee by far feels the premium version, and that's why they command that price, and there's so many different things that they can do. But all of these will record on the device what's happening on the cameras.
Yep.
They'll give you the opportunity to be able to view on the device what the camera's recording, and they'll also give you the opportunity on the device to review the footage that has been recorded on the cameras, as well as to remove the SD card and put it into a computer. Whereas these are just Android Auto, Apple CarPlay. But they're brilliant. They're brilliant.
I like the Chigee. Of all the ones we've used, I like the Chigee because when you've got the rear detection on it, you can actually set what speed you want it to detect as they're approaching from behind. Some of these others don't offer that. You know, if you're in town, you don't want a thing beeping all the time because there's a car behind you, you know. But when you're on a dual carriageway and you're doing the speed limit and something's flying up behind you, that's what I like about that. But all good. They're all good.
Now, these, when you connect on your Apple CarPlay with your iPhone or Android Auto with your Android, they will just mirror the stuff that is on your phone. So if you have got an obscure app that only you use and people don't usually use, but more importantly, that the manufacturer or the maker of the app hasn't made available to Apple CarPlay or Android Auto, it won't work on the unit. It's not the unit's fault, it's the fact that the developer hasn't made it open to Apple CarPlay or Android Auto. So you can use them in the same way, and I think they're actually really good because you don't have your phone. Lots of people like having their phone on handlebars. I hate it because it could damage the camera, as we've seen on older iPhones. If you lose your iPhone, that might be the only way of paying. Now you're out of contact, there's no way of dealing with stuff, and of course this won't work if you've lost your phone. But the connection to this, I found, works really well on all of these, is when you connect your phone to your headset in your helmet and your phone to this unit and allow your phone to be like the focus of all the connections. And I've never had a problem with any of these. They've worked seamlessly with phone calls, music, navigation. But it has to be said, all of these apart from this one, when you're riding around, if you lose signal on your phone, you lose the ability sometimes to navigate. It's very, very rare, isn't it?
Yeah, there's certain black spots when on the A30.
Yeah.
You know, where it just goes down. It's like, oh, I don't know where I am. But it's only for a short period of time. But it does happen.
But if you are going abroad, you can always download those maps. So if you're using Waze or Google or any of the others, you can download those maps to work it offline, and it works fine. The GPS will still work. It's just the connection to 4 or 5G. This one is a slightly different. So it's got a SIM card in it, and provided you pay for that, and you still need signal, so it will drop out if you lose signal. But this one has an app specifically designed for it, so that if you if I lent my bike to you, Mark, and this was on and I had cameras on it, I could dial into the app and watch in real time, providing this has got signal and I've got signal, to see where you are. But it also gives you GPS. So if you've put it into the garage, say, the garage is doing something and somebody says, I've just seen your bike, you can dial in and see what they're doing or where they're riding. So that's really good. It's got a parking sensor on there, like these have, that will start recording if something jolts your bike and give you alerts and things. But this, they're taking it to one higher level on Chigee, but you are paying a premium for it. So these are excellent units, aren't they? And it just doesn't matter what you choose. It all depends on your price point.
And it also comes down to whether it'll fit on your bike or not. I mean, look at the difference in size between those. You know,
well, and even this one,
and that one's a
small one.
Yeah, so there's three massive, and that is huge. That one, I put that on my bike briefly, and it is enormous. It's like having a massive widescreen TV on your thing.
But you think years ago that was massive.
Well, you think of
when they first came out,
little
TomTom things,
TomToms and Garmins, the really small ones. You know, but it's like this demand has come for having bigger and bigger screens all the time. I mean, that's the size of a TFT, isn't it? Almost, if not on a BMW. But the difference between those two there is quite significant. I was just looking at it before. I mean, there's the bigger one is the C6, the Aoocci, and that's the Pro, isn't it?
Yeah.
And the Aoocci is actually a bigger unit physically, you know, in as much as it looks a bit more cumbersome, doesn't it?
So you need to be able to work out what you're going to have, where you're going to put it, if you've got more than one bike, whether you want maps all the time, whether you want to rely on Google Maps, Waze, Scenic, My Route app, that sort of thing when you're away and when you're abroad. Not forgetting that the world isn't a closed off place anymore. You can go to Spain, Portugal, lots of places around the world, and the signal's totally fine.
Yep.
It's when you start going off road and that sort of thing. I mean, this is the everyday tourers type thing, isn't it, really? But is there still a place for one of those? This is a Garmin XT. They've made a Garmin XT2. They're great, but I think this was the best one that Garmin ever made. It's never failed me. The Garmin XT2's got some foibles, isn't it? It wants to send you here, there, and everywhere sometimes. But the Garmin XT just works.
The Garmin XT has become what used to happen a lot to the TomToms, I think, didn't it? It used to TomTom adventures.
Yeah.
I still think there's a place for sat-navs, just pure sat-navs like the Garmin. I've still got a Nav 6 on my bike, BMW Nav 6. No problem with it at all. Once we'd sent it away to can't remember the name of the guy now in Germany.
We did a video on it, didn't we?
He only contacted me a couple of months ago, actually. And he sealed the screen like Garmin didn't do, and everyone had a Nav 6, was sending them back repeatedly. Oh, it's crap because it doesn't work, it doesn't work. There was dust getting behind the screen. I nearly had the name of the guy then, but once I had it fixed, I mean, it's been nearly 3 years now, I think.
Yeah, you've had it a long time.
And it still works perfectly. And the good thing about these is you can load GPX files straight onto them.
Yeah.
On a lot of apps on the phones, like for Google Maps, you can't load anything. You have to have a different app to do it, and then it all becomes more confusing. Waze, you can't put GPX files onto it. Scenic, you can. What are the ones?
My Route app, you can.
My Route app, you can use. But it's all still a little bit fuzzy when you're actually implementing it. This just it just follows the route, and that's all you want it to do. Whereas if you're using Google Maps on your phone, you can't guarantee that you're going to follow the route that a GPX file is.
No.
Because
they got their own algorithms.
The algorithms are going to go, I've found a better place, and all the rest of it.
Yeah.
And then you've always got that. That's always the big problem, because when you're on your phone, you've got people go, oh, my sat-nav's not working, and you look at it and they go, well, why have you added curvy roads? There's a route to follow with curvy roads on it. So I still think there's a place for a sat-nav.
Which is why,
although it's getting smaller.
Which is why on our RiderCamTV tours, we have got quite a few waypoints on there to make sure that these sort of things. So Oviedo is a place in Spain that we go through, but you can go round, and it's nice to go round it rather than getting caught up. But if we wanted to go right through the middle, which we have done, I think we did last time, didn't we? Which I quite like seeing the culture, but some people don't. So when they're using one of these with Waze or Google Maps are saying, well, it's busy through there. Why would I send you through there? I've got a much better route for you to go around this. So that's where it will take you. So for tour operators, we're having to make sure that the specific route that we want you to take, especially where it could get busy, we've got to make sure that there's pins on there to make
on the day we actually went through Oviedo, it was the World Rally Championships were on as well. So Google Maps was trying to send people all the way around, but roads had been blocked off for the rally, but it hadn't taken that into account, bizarrely enough, because there were like random closures. That just took you right through Oviedo.
Yeah.
Sat-nav.
Yeah, and I think there's a genuine place for there as well. So as you have, if you've got an iPhone or an Android phone, after a few years, because not everybody is replacing their phone every year anymore, because really, what's the point? So the longer you have your phone, the more the battery in the phone degrades, because we're using it and charging it and using it and charging it all the time. The one thing that these have got, which is a bit of a negative towards them, is when you're connected to them, they will suck some, not a lot, but some of the power in your battery, because they're screen mirroring all the time. So you've got to be prepared to be able to charge your phone up if you haven't got a reliable battery. This thing, it's got its own battery in there, own power supply on the handlebars. It doesn't work with a whiz wheel, which some of these do, so that's great. It doesn't work with a whiz wheel. But once you've set it up, and I have this connected to my phone, purely because I want to know if the route's going to change from somebody else's, just if there's something up ahead. And it works really well with the Garmin stuff. The updates are always done on it, and it works really well. But that's all it's got to do.
So I like the XT. I had an XT2 and it was awful for all the reasons we said in a video. But I like the NAV6 because on a BMW you've got the jockey wheel, you can use it with that.
Yeah.
And that's just a personal thing for me. But the XT is definitely the best one they've done so far.
Yeah. I mean, for going around everyday usage and some tours, I like the CarPlay. I like the ability to be able to use Waze and things like that. But when we're going on a proper route, I like using these. And we tested when we went on our first inaugural tour, didn't we? Some CarPlay units and these, and that's what's helping us shape and make sure that our tours are more defined in some places. But this didn't skip a beat. Not once did it go the wrong way.
Well, I run my NAV6 and I have the Chigee sat above it, and I use Google Maps on the Chigee just to see where people are going to go. And as they're approaching a junction and the sat nav's going, do this, and you go, okay, I'm doing that. And then you're watching what different programs are doing. And it's going, oh, do this. And people are phoning, oh, I'm lost. Oh, crap ride because I didn't do that. And it's interesting to actually work out that is just doing what it's told to do.
Yeah.
Can't tell you anything else.
No.
Because that's the route that we have put in. Whereas this, a text to your phone is going, oh, I might not want to go there.
Yeah, because the phone's got a brain, isn't it?
But it's interesting to see the two routes diverging, you know. Or,
yeah.
Is that the right word, diverging, going away?
Yeah, the slight differences.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, so these, I think the only thing that I would say is if you're going to buy an Android Auto or CarPlay unit, I would buy it from a company that you've seen that's been on YouTube with YouTubers like us that have been talking about it, so you get a feel for how it works. Have a look at their website and see whether they look too good to be true or not. I mean, there's a load of stuff come up on Facebook recently saying this motorcycle head unit, I think they're calling it, something like £1,000.
Wow.
I mean, why? It doesn't really do anything different than these.
We had one company send us one, didn't they, to review?
Yeah, we sent it back.
We sent it back because there was no website, no information.
No.
Couldn't tell us anything. So there you go. There's your piece of rubbish.
And that's what I'm trying to get to. So Carpuride, Aoocci, Motorcycle CarPlay, who, by the way, after we did our review of this one, said that this was pre-packaging, pre-production packaging. So they will have their logo and stuff on there, which will make it more professional. But those people, Aoocci, Carpuride, Chigee especially, they have all got really, really good websites. They've all got a really good following and lots of really good feedback. And they also show some of the bad feedback that they've got as well.
Yeah.
Because I think that's really important. There are also a lot of things on AliExpress, a lot of things out there that you'll go on there and you'll go, wow, that's a brilliant unit, but actually don't really know what you're getting.
For £5.
Like the one that turned up for us, it came in a white box. There was no model number. There was no instruction booklet. There was no way to contact anybody to find out what it was and how it worked. And then when we went to try it, it was trying to record different stuff and it just seemed really odd. So stick with the names that you kind of know, but you've got to choose, haven't you? There's a big choice to make, especially if that's 350 quid. The XT2s are like £550. That's £600. Could be a little bit less, could be a little bit more, depending on what you add. But it's now a big choice, isn't it? Do I choose something that is going to work like a sat-nav that doesn't rely on your phone for everything? Or do you use something that relies on your phone for everything and are prepared to put up with that? Because 99 times out of 100, that's going to work. Mm-hmm. It's a matter for you, isn't it? That's got a lot more appealing features, but for me as a tour guide, that is my fail-safe. It's almost like when these first came out, people would say, I'd rather use a map.
That's the new map.
Yeah, this is like the new map because it's tried and tested for so long. These work really, really well. And that's the decision you've got to make. So decide whether you want dedicated sat-nav or whether you want a CarPlay or something that uses your phone. And then you've got to decide what price point. And all of these on the table, you cannot go far wrong. But really, really good units. There's something for everybody. And there's lots of stuff in the forums when you look on Facebook or on the internet or on followings about these that people love these. Then there are people that hate these. There are people that love these, people that hate these. I think you've got to read between the lines now with all this feedback. Feedback's really good, but there are so many keyboard warriors out there that try and muddy the waters. You've got to think about the features you want, the price point you want, and whether you want it sat nav or whether you want it phone driven. And then you've got to decide which one that you go for. And they've all got really good warranties as well.
Yep.
And that's the other thing, isn't it?
Happy with that?
I think it's really good. So hopefully that's changed some of the confusion you've got or added to it.
Probably
made you more confused. But I think they're really good units. I will continue to use CarPlay devices as well as my dedicated Garmin. But when I go away, the Garmin will be the one that I use.
Can I just say, at no point were boxes sniffed during this video?
No, they weren't on this one. We did it before.
Weirdo.